Hello and welcome to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 character overview and showing off some out of bounds and explaining why I'm choosing which character I'm going to be choosing for my no damage and my damageless attempt. My no damage attempt and my my damageless run. And then we're going to talk about the crashes and the unavoidable damage that takes place in this game. Also, it's a very late stream because I was busy trying to get everything all ready and set up for today, which I was prepared to do. Now, some important stuff to get out of the way. These upcoming few weeks, I may not be able to stream, or they'll be very late streams. So if I don't stream a day, it's because I was busy working past midnight. So that is what's just a heads up. In case I miss a day of streaming or miss an upload on YouTube. So, this stream, we're going to start with what characters I am not going to be using. Actually, no. We'll start with the unavoidable damage, which we will load into... which loads is it? There's that one, I think. I think that's the right one. That one. I didn't have a save point at the other one. Of course not. Thought I was fully prepared. Was not fully prepared. Yep, I don't have a save point for it. We'll just have to use cheats to get there, I guess. Let's see. Where should we go then? We'll load up this one and see what the missions is. Missions are, is this the beginning of Act 1? Yes, it is. That's fine. We will now show off one of the things that's not allowed in the damageless run.
I cannot do that here.
It is this menu right here is not allowed. Because I can turn on invulnerability and then where's the challenge? This menu right here is not allowed. To access this menu, as far as I know, it's the same on all consoles. It's the left and right bumper or L1, R1. All face buttons, so X, Y, B, and A, or the circle, X, triangle, and square for PlayStation, and the pause button. We'll bring up this menu. Now, we're going to warp to, where is, there it is, Lab 2. Right here is unavoidable damage. During this sequence, you're trying to escape from the end. Because I already did this part in this save file, it's already flooded with poison. But you are always constantly taking poison damage. So this right here is one place you just are unable to avoid taking damage. So this won't be counted as taking damage when we do the damageless run. A way that we are probably going to clarify the damageless run is that it's going to be damage from enemies, and not environmental damage like this poison. Because you can't dodge any of this poison. Now, another place where there's unavoidable damage, at least I think it's unavoidable, would be Firewind Manor 2. Because the fires, you're trying to escape from a building, and there's fire coming down because the building's on fire. Now, the reason why this is, I think, not possible to do damagelessly is because the fire's hitbox, because I could maybe get around all this stuff and not take any damage. But the fire's hitbox goes down before you can, before it's visible on screen. So the hitbox is already there. Like, I didn't know that was going to be there. This one is avoidable. Is that one avoidable? Yeah, that one's avoidable. But you don't know when fire is going to come down from the ceiling. So I'm going to count the Firewind Manor as another place where it might be possible if you get fantastic RNG. Or if I was able to see where, you know, the fire was going to be landing before it fell. I can't predict where it's going to be. I have no way to mod the game to show where it's going to be. So we're just going to have to count it as this area. If I take damage, it doesn't count. It might be possible, I don't know. Did I turn off invulnerability? That's one other thing. When you turn on invulnerability, it's on until you turn it off or reload the game. So, exit the menu, go back in game, still got it. Load game, still got it. Anything that's not turn it off yourself or restarting the game entirely, you still got it. Okay, now, the last place where you cannot avoid taking damage, I think, I was somehow able to do it a few times, but it wasn't consistent, is Dragon Spear. This is, I should have really read that name entirely, Dragon Spear Cavern 2? Sorry, Dragon Spear Dungeons 2. The place I think there's unavoidable damage is right here. You need to get past these torches? Braziers? I think that's what those are called. But you need to get past this fire. And you take damage if you even walk past it or jump over it. I managed to not take damage by sprinting through it before. Like right there, but I probably won't have max sprint, and it's not consistent. So we're probably just going to take the damage here and count it as not taking damage. Otherwise, other than these 3 locations, I think the rest you can do damagelessly. I'm not 100%, but I think that's the case. That's not even the button I wanted to do. I didn't want to activate the cheat menu. I've been activating that cheat menu a lot today to get everything prepared. So, now that we've gone through where you take unavoidable damage, let's show off the only out of bounds I know of. Because I think it's cool to show it off now before it, you know, ruins the run because I did a glitch. So, recall, it's in the city, in Baldur's Gate. And the only way out of this is if you have recalled. If it's the first thing you've done, you can't, you're just stuck. Let's bring up the map. You go right over here, and you're out of bounds. Now, you can get back inbounds quite easily. I think you can jump up here too. You can enter this warehouse if you have that option. I did not know you could get on this roof though. This I did not know about. I knew you could fall out of the map, but I did not know you could climb on these buildings. I don't think I could make it to there. Can I climb on here? The jump doesn't want to jump, so it's weird. Oh, I fell. And I'm probably about to fall out of the map. Or is there a small walkway? Oh, there was a small walkway. Being able to get onto this roof is new to me. So I want to test out its limits, but I think I'm probably past that point. But yeah, this is the one out of bounds I know of, and it doesn't help you. But it's cool. If you could do this during one act, that'd be maybe useful then. Nope, I landed into a very bad spot. Oh, you can see in that building. I don't know why I call it a building, it's the church. Which is still a building, yes. Hands of Glory's secret passage. Oh, yeah. I don't think I can get out. Never been over here, so I have no idea if I can get out. Oh, no, you can climb these boxes and get on this roof. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know about how far you could go out of bounds. Now I'm back in bounds. You will never enter the sewers after you go into it once. Wait, is it really that easy to get out of bounds right here? Could you get out of bounds right here? You might be able to. Climb this building. Now we're just experimenting. Although I think I'm about done experimenting. Yeah, I'm done experimenting. I'm gonna see if I can get... No, okay. I'll now exit the map real quick. And then we're going to get on to the character overview, because the last thing I'm going to touch on is crashes, or the few crashes I have come across. Actually, we'll just cover that now. I've run across 2 times that the game has crashed on me. The first time, it will never continue. And I've fallen off the map. See you later, map. It happened to me at the end of my extreme difficulty playthrough I did on my own. And it was just, the game just froze and did nothing. I couldn't do anything. Didn't close the game, I had to close it myself and refight the final boss, which was not the best thing to happen. But I managed to complete it again. So that was the first crash I'll mention. The second crash involves the escape of that poisoned area.
Cannot do that here.
We'll use a warp to go there. Lab 1. Oh look, the enemies actually respawned here. That's weird. They don't normally respawn after you defeated them. And actually, it's treating like this is the first visit here. But with added poison all the time. Which is weird. That's not how that's supposed to work. So if you go through this area, like I'm currently doing, or killing everything and just not picking up anything. I don't actually know if you go through here and not kill anything if anything happens. But if you kill everything and then don't pick up anything the entire time, the game will crash when you revisit here during the escape. Hard crash, close the game, it's done. It couldn't handle it. So, that is the crash that I have encountered while I was counting the enemies, which I was doing ahead of time a few months ago. I can't recall, so I'll just load game. Actually, no. We'll just exit the menu, because now we're going to talk about the characters. And why, during this attempt, this no damage run... Nope, I gotta get it right. The no damage first attempt, and then the damageless run, I will be using the Moon Elf Necromancer Yusaran. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So that is who we're going to be playing as during all these attempts. But what we're going to do right now is go through the other 6 characters, and then Yusaran, to explain why Yusaran will be the one we're going to be going with. And we will start this explanation with the human barbarian Dorn. I have on pieces of paper all the skills and abilities that Dorn gets. Thanks to Victoria for helping me get this all ready and prepared. We're going to go into the game and take a look at Dorn real quick. Which also, this game features a camera you can zoom in, and a map that has a compass, which are improvements from the first game. And also improvements from the first game, I don't know why I'm doing this now instead of later, is that you have these 4 buttons that you can assign spells to. Even the same spell to multiple slots. So you don't have to open up and find the spell you want. You can favorite 4, have it on another 5th one, and you have access to 5 spells right away. Now, Dorn here. Dorn is a human barbarian, as it was stated. And the reason why we're not going to be using Dorn for the no damage run, or I should just say the damageless run, is because Dorn's main way of attacking is melee. And if we're trying to take no damage, we really don't want to be in a one-on-one fight. Now, Dorn also is one of the few characters that I can remember that actually uses the bow. Other characters use the crossbow. I don't know if there's a significant difference between the two of them. I think the bow's better, but I cannot remember. And I didn't look into it before this stream. But we will now show off what Dorn's abilities are by importing the one that I worked hard to get all the abilities on. And why the stream is so late. So, Dorn's abilities are Barbarian Rage. He starts with this one. And Barbarian Rage increases, gives you a +1 attack. You do 1 to 6 more damage, and you have -2 armor class. You are weaker. You have less defense because you're in a rage, and you are unable to block. So I cannot block, but my damage is higher. I don't have an enemy to exactly show that off with. I could run up here, talk to the lady, and get all that stuff, but we're not going to bother with anything. We're going to mostly be in this area right here for this video. Or use the cheat menu to go to other places. The other ability that Dorn starts with is Sprint. And I can't remember if I accidentally put one in. No, I didn't. It's a quick burst of running speed. 66 increase for speed for 1 second. It's like this. Which would be nice, you know, run in, slash, run in, slash, or what I was trying to do, which would be run in, slash, and run away. Which could work. And this is blocking, by the way. But I don't think it'd work for us. Now, the other abilities that are spells that he gets is Cleave, Power Attack, and Sunder. So let's go to Cleave. It does +1 damage, but to all enemies in front of me. That was Cleave, right? Yeah, that was Cleave. Good. And it looks like that. Now, that could help for taking no damage, but we don't want to be in melee range all the time. So we wouldn't want that. Then there's Power Attack, which +2 damage per hit. So that just does +2 to whatever attack we do. So if we have a better weapon, you know, then there's that. Then there's Sunder. -4 armor in the enemy's class. Which has the same attack animation as Power Attack. Cleave has a different one, at least. Now, the abilities that you can purchase, and I think some of these are just available in general. I don't remember which is which. Is Accuracy. You know, improves accuracy and damage of ranged attacks. That's nice. That could be helpful. There's Armor Proficiency. That won't be helpful for a damageless attempt. Or damageless run. It won't be helpful. We don't care about better armor. We could even just use the base level 1. Although we will probably end up getting level 2 because we'll want a shield for blocking. We already went over Barbarian Rage and Cleave. There's Combat Reflexes, which just increases how fast you attack. There's Death Blow, which we haven't gone over. It increases the damage inflicted by a critical hit. Cool. We don't want to be in melee range. There's Dodge, which enemies are more likely to miss in combat. That would be nice. But it's not guaranteed. There's Endurance, which increases how much you can carry. There's Great Fortitude, which is increasing health point regeneration, or hit point regeneration. We don't care about that. We're not going to try to take any damage. Great Weapon Focus, Hand Weapon Focus, Long Weapon Focus, and 2 Weapon Fighting, I think is about the same thing. But it just improves your ability to fight with certain weapons. So Great Weapon Focus is 2-handed great weapons, 1-handed weapons, you know, staves, spears, and halberds, and fighting with 2 weapons at once. None of those are going to be very helpful when we're trying to stay away anyway, so sorry, Dorn, you're just not cutting it so far. Oh, Hero's Arm, which is really cool. You can wield a great weapon in one hand only. I don't have a great weapon to show off with, but a great sword. Or a Warhammer. That's a better one. Or Battle Axe. That's even better. Battle Axes require you to carry it in 2 hands. This will make it so you can carry it in 1 hand and you can dual wield them. which is cool. Hero's Mantle, resistant to physical damage. We don't want to take any damage, so that would be pointless. Improved critical, that's nice. Iron Will is very nice, it's magic energy regeneration rate. We've already talked about that one. Power attack we've already talked about. Sprint we've already talked about. Thunder we've already talked about. Toughness is just extra hit points. And that's all Dorn has. He is very melee heavy, which makes sense, he's a barbarian. Sorry Dorn, you're just not going to cut it. Now what I should have done is gone over each of these characters before the stream started and made sure I didn't overlap any talking points. Like, all the characters have accuracy. Also, I don't want them just to say it, but if you wait long enough, each character has a few different lines of dialogue for just sitting around and doing nothing. Now, we're going to talk about... No, you're last. Yusran, you're last. Vedra. I'm assuming I'm saying that one completely incorrect. But I chose the brand new character to show off what they start with. Which is what I should have done. Only starts with Sprint. And has no melee weapons because they're a dark elf monk. So they are very proficient at using no weapons. And they start with 1 point in armor proficiency, so you can equip some armor. 1 point in sprint, and 1 point in unarmed combat, which is just like all the other combat-oriented things, but with bare hands. And just like the rest, there's a few skills that they all have, which I am going to now quickly mark down on all the ones I have left, which is they all have accuracy. Which I'm going to quickly make sure I put a mark down on all of these pieces of paper that I have in front of me, except for Dorn. I'm sorry, I've already moved you away, Dorn. They all have armor proficiency. Not all characters can reach armor proficiency 3. I can think of only one, actually. I thought maybe Vedra also was one, but no, she's not. But they all have armor proficiency. So let's mark that down. Cool. Most characters have combat reflexes. Not all of them start with combat reflexes, but we'll get to that. Some characters don't get combat reflexes at all. Don't want to bring you back from my piece of paper. Accuracy, armor proficiency, combat reflexes. This is why I don't talk about something a second time, because I don't want to talk about it a second time. So, then there's Crushing Blow, which adds damage to unarmed attacks. By the way, the reason why we're not going with Vedra is because the same reason we're not going with Dorn. Vedra's super, at the beginning anyway, very melee attack orientated. Unarmed attacks. Unarmed proficiency. That's not very helpful for us. Death Blow. We've already talked about this. It's a critical hit. Which, again, not every character starts with Death Blow, and some characters don't even get Death Blow. Then there's Deflect Missiles, which would be great, because it automatically blocks, it has a chance to block missile attacks. Actually, we should be showing off the character that has one of everything, because I've already shown off what not one of everything looks like. And that would be this one. Yeah, Vedra in the study. So we've already talked about accuracy, armor. Oh wait, we'll show off the abilities first. There's sweep attack, which is +1 damage, but is a different kind of attack. And then a stunning blow, which will stun. Spinning strike requires a staff weapon. I should have prepared that. Piercing strike is armor class reduction. Crushing blow is just +2 damage. I wish I had a staff or something. If I can get one real quick. Let me turn on the other controller real quick. And bring in a character that's got one. I think Usaran has one in this save file. Then you will drop out after you drop the weapon. Yes, you do. Pick it up. Okay. Delete. Yep. Cool. Okay. Now that we've got a staff that's very, very powerful and not at all at the correct level for you. Spinning strike. Looks like that. Just adds 1 damage to the attack. Currently. Because it will get better as you put more points into it. Because the next level will be, it will be +2. Either it will add +2 or will be just +2. I cannot remember. If I remembered, it would have been good to find that out, but I cannot remember. So let's see what's next. Because we've gone through all the active abilities, and they're all melee orientated, so it's not very helpful for us. And there's dodge, which Dorn had, so we're not going over it again. But most characters get dodge. I should really have Usaran up here. I didn't have Usaran at all. Because, spoiler alert, Usaran's a mage. By obvious nature of the fact that I showed off that he was called a necromancer. So he doesn't have a lot of these abilities, but he has some. He doesn't start or get dodge though. Which is unfortunate, but makes sense. He's a mage. So, one of Vadra's exclusive abilities is Diamond Body, which take less damage from poison and acid, which would be great for that one part that you take damage from poison while escaping, but you still take damage. It's not when that gets full you don't take damage, you still take damage. Then she's got Endurance, which I think every character gets. The only people I don't have written down are the 2 bonus characters, which we'll go over before we get to Usaran. I didn't write their stuff down at all. Then she's got Evasion, which... No, Ron, it wasn't a late day. I was trying to get this video and stream prepared, and it took me till real late today. And I'll recap everything for you, Ron, on a second stream, if you're still here. But if you leave before the end, then you'll have to watch it later. I didn't have everything prepared for this stream. I needed to get every character. I needed to get them to have one of every skill, and needed to get everything prepared. I wasn't ready. I was mostly ready for something else, with other stuff. But yeah, I'll do another stream just for you at the end if there's time. So where were we? We were on Evasion. A skill that Dorn, that we have already gone over, doesn't have, but that a few characters do have, which is it aids in damage reduction from certain magical attacks. which is nice. But we're still not going with Phaedra. By the way, Ron, just so you can see, there's Phaedra. Okay, then you can check out the beginning later on YouTube. Anyway, that put me all the way at the very top. But evasion is a skill that a few characters have that Dorn just didn't have. Hey, you don't have that. Great Fortitude I've already gone over, and I think most characters have that. It's just more hit point regeneration. Great Fortitude, and Great Fortitude. I was right. Every character has that. Hand Weapon Focus. I'm going to go through these right now. Again, Hand Weapon Focus is for one-handed weapons. Long Weapon Focus is for staves, spears, and halberds. And two-weapon fighting is for when you're dual wielding. And she might be the only one with unarmed combat, which is improved ability to fight with bare hands, as I've already gone over. But I needed to make sure I went over them one more time because I didn't mark them off yet. So, hand weapon focus, long weapon focus, two weapon focus. Making notes on the paper I have in front of me if you're curious why it hasn't moved, if you're just tuning in. Because I should have done this before stream, but I didn't think about it until now. Because I don't want to repeat myself 50 times. It's not true, I don't want to repeat myself 5 times because I'll be repeating myself for the 2 bonus characters. Because I didn't write them down. Or I didn't have Victoria's help writing them down. Because I was trying to get this all ready, and it just didn't have time. So, hand weapon. Long, I already did. Then there's 2. You don't have it. You have it, but it's already marked. You have it and it's marked. You have it and it's marked. Okay, cool. Improved critical, which Dorn had. Increases critical hit chance. Which again is nice, but not when you're, not going for... aren't going for melee. We're going for ranged, and this is just not going to work for us. Iron Will, everybody has. Which I really should have thought about when I was writing things down or marking things. Piercing Strike. We've already talked about this. Actually, we didn't talk about it. It's 4 armor class reduction and then 8 on the next level. It just reduces the enemy's armor class, which is nice. It makes it so they take more damage. Which more characters might have, but I'm not going to... A lot of characters don't, so I'm not going to mark it off if anybody. I already talked about long weapon focus. Spinning Strike, I think, is exclusive to her. And we already showed it off, but I'll show it off again. There it is. Sprint. A few characters have sprint. It just makes it's a sprint burst of. I guess all characters have it. Burst of speed. Didn't realize all the characters had it. Stunning blow. We've already talked about. Sweep attack. We've already talked about with this character. Toughness, extra hit points, which I should have marked that one down too, and also willpower. I'm going to mark those down now, so don't forget. Toughness is hit points, willpower is magic. And every character gets both of those. Toughness. And over here with Yusaran, who we're going to be playing as, doesn't get toughness, but does get willpower. I forgot that he didn't get toughness. Okay, now, Dorn, I think I've covered everything until I get to part 2 with you. Okay, that is all with Vedra until part 2, which will be coming back to all these characters, but again, we're saving Yusran for after all of those. Okay, now it's time for Borodor. So, Borodor, the dwarf of the game, only starts with Ransack. A little bit of damage and an increased chance of finding additional treasure when you hit them. Starts with the brand new crossbow and the short sword. So that's a good contender for, trying to beat the game without taking damage. I got a ranged weapon already. And unlike the first game, if you hold the block button with a ranged weapon, you get a red line indicating where you're aiming. I can hit you? I did not know that. Can I repeat? You were in a boss battle? No, I cannot repeat. I'm moving on to the next character, Ron. I'm going through all the skills that each character gets. Also, every character starts with cloth boots and cloth bracers, which are the only clothing items you can remove at the very beginning.